Hi everyone, in this lecture we are going to talk about reshaping arrays. One of the most common operations that you might want to perform on an NumPy array is reshaping the array. This is extremely common when you're working with machine learning problems. So what I've done so far is imported the NumPy. We have created an array which is a two-dimensional array, 4 countries along with their 4 capitals. So what we have here is this array. Let's check its shape, right? So I'm going to say a dot shape. This is going to give us the shape 2 by 4, 2 rows, 4 columns. Now we can flatten the array in a row major flattening to a one-dimensional. We can flatten this array into a one-dimensional array in the form of row major flattening. How can we do that? For that we have a.ravel. When you run it, you can see that we no longer have 2 dimensions. We just have 1 dimension or a scalar, and all the items are sitting peacefully next to each other. We can transpose the matrix or the array. Transposing basically means rows become columns and columns become rows. So we have 4 columns, 2 rows. We are going to end up with 4 rows and 2 columns. And transpose is just basically capital T, a dot capital T. So 4 rows, 2 columns. USA, Washington, D.C., Japan, Tokyo, Turkey, Ankara, India, New Delhi. We can also ravel the transpose, which is a.t.ravel, converting it into a single dimensional matrix or array. Now let's check the shape of the array now. If I say a.shape, we don't need parentheses, a.shape, it is still a 2 by 4 array. Now what if we want to reshape the array into a 4 by 2 array? And what is going to be the difference of that with this T or transpose? I'm going to tell you. Now, when it comes to transpose, rows become columns, columns become rows. But when you want to reshape the array, you keep in mind, you change the structure of the array, like internally. We could say a.reshape 4 and 2. So you can see that we no longer have each country and its capital right in front of it. We first have all of the items within our rows. When they are filled, then we are going to have the items within the columns. How? So first, if I come in here, in our rows, we have USA, Japan, Turkey, India. After they're done, which they create 2 arrays in here, then we are going to go with the capitals of those. There we go. Now, as long as the new shape of the array can house all the elements of the original array, reshape is possible. What do I mean by that? If I say a range 15, this is going to create 15 elements. So it is either possible in a combination of 1 by 15, 15 by 1, 3 by 5, 5 by 3. Those are the only possible combinations, right? Because in that case, we are not going to end up with any orphan elements or any dissociated elements. So if I say 5, 3, we are going to get this array. We can also go 3, 5, 3 as well as 5. We are going to get this array. We can go 15, 3, 15, 1. Come on, buddy. 1. We are going to get this array. We can also go 1, 15. So it's going to be like 1 row, 15 columns. We're going to get this one. It is still a 2-dimensional array. It's just that we don't have any more rows. We just have 1 row and 15 columns. You can see there are double brackets. It is not a scalar. It is not a 1-dimensional array. It is still very much 2-dimensional, but there are no second rows. There's just 1 row, as well as this one. This is still 2-dimensional, but there is just 1 column. It happens to be 1 column. But What if we provided a combination that is not going to house all of them? Like 6 into 13, 6 times 3, it's 18. So we have more houses than we have elements. If I run that, can't reshape array of size 15 into 6 by 3. Let's provide lower number. So let's say 3 by 3. The same error, it cannot reshape it. So as long as it is compatible, it's reshapeable. Otherwise, it's not reshapeable. Let's create a one-dimensional array, which I'm just going to call countries. MP array, USA, Japan, Turkey, India, Brazil, Singapore. And then we have this one-dimensional array. All right, and let's reshape this. We can also use negative arguments. So if I say countries dot reshape for row -1, for column it's going to get 3. So we should have at least 3 columns. There we go. So 3 columns, it doesn't matter how many rows. Let's just do the same thing for columns. So I'm saying that I need 3 rows. I don't care how many columns. So it's just going to create 2 columns for us. If I say I want 6 rows, it's just going to create 6 rows for me. Doesn't matter how many columns. In this case, you are going to end up with 1 column. Now, a reshaping that'll not work is that you're going to say that you want 4 rows, but you don't know how many columns you want. So the algorithm is either going to give you 1 column. In that case, it's 4 into 1. It's 4 elements, but you have 6 elements. Or it's going to give you 2 columns, which is 4 into 2, which is going to be 8 elements. Again, 4 elements less than 6 elements, 8 elements greater than 6 elements. In both cases, it's not going to work, and we're going to end up kind of reshape array of size 6 into 4 new axes. That's it for this lecture. See you in the next one.